Peace to the guys. We sitting here getting prepared, about to do a YouTube live. So there's a few things I want to address on this YouTube that I'm about to do. The first thing is going to be about the radical times that we're living in. I'm just about sure that, and I believe that the Democrats are sure about this as well, that Donald Trump is going to win. Now, I want to speak about a few things. I'm an agent of change. I also want to talk about the misconstructions and this idea of agents in the black community. There are like a lot of real ones, but then there's just a lot of people that just talk about conspiracies that actually don't mean anything and nothing is real. And I'm confused, to be honest, about what black men even believe anymore and what black people believe. I don't understand it anymore. I used to understand black men. At least, some of y'all, but I don't. But unfortunately, this is something that I'm seeing and I want to speak on. If anybody has seen where Elon Musk has endorsed Donald Trump, and he said he'll give him $45 million. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the significance of that. I was talking with my brothers over there at EYL, and I'm asking them, like, how many sponsors y'all got? Y'all got 25,000 people coming to InvestFest. You got all these celebrities and things of that nature. And I'm like, yo, how many sponsors y'all got? Because I'm planning an event, a huge one. And they said they only got one. And I'm like, nah, you got to be kidding me. Like, what you mean one? You mean like you bring all of this value and not one single black company? And no white companies, no advertisers are jumping to give y'all millions of dollars to be the sponsors of one of the biggest premier events where black people are coming together to talk about their wealth agenda, right? And investing in, the culture. And I don't think people understand behind the scenes what that's like. Like, y'all might see a BET, y'all might see Source, y'all might see Essence. These people, they got sponsors, millions of dollars in sponsorship. But the brothers that I know, for the most part, they do this stuff completely independent. So when I was looking at the Elon Musk thing, and I posted about him, and it was a tweet about how white men are villains. And he say black male heroes. He say the dad is seen as an idiot. The woman seen as the one with the balls. He say the gay is the one who has the reasonable voice, and the children are sexualized. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I believe that most of that is true, right? I'm agreeing with it. The part that I have a problem with is the parts that's not true. Because you have to think about it. If I have $100 billion and I own my entire platform, and most people don't know how to look at things and read in between the lines, and this is where I get confused about what black men want or believe or even think, because I actually don't understand why y'all come to the aid of men who don't need help, right? Why you think you need to be a hero for Elon Musk. The man is literally one of the most powerful men in the world. I don't get why you think you need to take up for his perspective. It's weird. I don't understand it. Maybe it's a lack of fatherhood. You feel me? Like, I just don't get it. Like, he's going to be good. If 19 Keys have a perspective on him, he's going to be good. That man has $100 billion. He's one of the most powerful men on the planet Earth. So when you tweet something and when he tweets something, it's completely different. So you got to read in between the lines, because a man don't have that much time. So when he does something, I'm thinking about the intentionality and who he's speaking to. Now, if he can tweet something that says, oh, part of the problem is, part of the agenda is now they starting to show black men as heroes. And black men don't see a problem with that. Matter of fact, they be like, y'all just don't understand him. He right. But that's a lot of power. He can say he don't even like positive representation of you, even though it's actually not true. Because usually the black man shown as a nigga. He's shown as effeminate. He's shown as weak. He's shown as ignorant, right? There's no real dominant positive representation. But he said, I'm starting to see they showing black men as heroes, even though 90+% of all images of white men are the ones shown as heroes. They got the new Superman, the Batman, the Wolverine, the all these different things that you can think of off the top of your head that's about to come. Now, a lot of those other things are true, but what I looked at is there's a juxtaposition of why would he want to post that. Now, this is one of the richest black men in the history of the planet Earth. And I'm like, okay, you have to understand why. Why would he say white men is seen as villains and black men is seen as heroes? And that's the new social agenda. Well, first of all, white men have always been villains in all the movies because they dominated all the roles. That's just the fact. Black men haven't been able to play the best villain roles. Shit, we ain't got none of that. 99% of them, y'all always been the villains. Like, that's just a fact of history. Still are. And most of the shows I go watch, some of my favorite movies are all white characters in a movie. I'm not giving nobody too much credit. This man is a billionaire and one of the most powerful men on the planet Earth. That's not giving too much credit. Y'all don't know what you're talking about, Nate Webster. Y'all got some issues. He literally owns Twitter and called it X for the unknown, and he want to turn it into everything. And he has that much money and that much power. He owns one of the largest social platforms on the planet Earth that shapes a narrative around the world. He is the gatekeeper of free speech at this point. So I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of things that I can respect about a man that builds up a platform. Now, you ain't even got to go into that. But what I'm looking at are the things that deal with me. Because black men specifically are at war with everybody. And you have to understand the climate of how everything is playing out today and who he's speaking to. Because he ain't speaking to you because y'all niggas go fuck with him regardless. He don't care. He's talking to middle America. He's talking to the white man that feels as if we stole this country. And you have to understand the history of this type of thing. This is not new. See, if you know your history, then you'll understand that white men historically, go back to South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, when black people were Republicans and we had political power, and we had cooperation and collaboration with the farmers. And we had so much political power and economics in our own town. We had our own media. We had everything. And not that we did anything to them, but they were afraid of black rule. And this is not my words. They printed it in the newspaper. Fear of the black rule. But they knew that whites were illiterate at the time. Right? There wasn't high literacy rates in the white community. So the way that they would get them to be enraged and care about things, that they would put it in cartoons. They would have to make cartoons about it, right? This is where you get them propaganda cartoons from, because whites were literally illiterate and blacks had a higher literacy rate, right? You go back to a lot of the black literates that were scholars and philosophers and professors, and that was pushing a lot of things. And everybody don't know their history, but I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and I did a tour because I spoke out there. And one of the things that happened, and this is all history, this is when we had and this is why I'm talking to my brother Blue Pill, he like, you can't erase black history because Republican history is black history. Right? So when we get to some truth, you have to understand how these things repeat. So the way this shit worked is, they took the newspapers, and what they did is they had a section and they created a propaganda cartoon that showed a black man basically stealing a white woman. You know what I mean? And sexualizing a white woman. They wanted white men to be fearful that black men were coming for their women. And so a brother seen this, and he got cocky with it because he got his own media platform. And so he didn't do it immediately, but he had wrote in his own newspaper basically saying that we ain't got to steal none of them. They coming for us. So he got cocky. He started talking this shit. He started talking on the platform because he got his own newspaper, just like how we got our own social media. He had his own platform. So he posted that. And then the whites took that article and they ran it in theirs. and saying, see what these niggas is saying? Even though when they ran it, it was like months or years later. But it was enough to enrage the whites. Fear of the black rule. Fear that the black man is going to come and take your white woman. This is history. You got to know, like, actual history that's literally written. These are all documented facts. And so the ideal was always how the elitists, the way that they always did it throughout history. And there's many cases that I can point to, from the Bacon Rebellion to this one. So now let me step back, because there's always truth mixed, right? There's always going to be truth mixed with falsehood. And then there's always going to be an agenda. So yes, there is a true left agenda. On the left side, there is an agenda of effemination. There is a social engineering agenda to make the man look weak, which is the patriarch. So in the movies, they do make the man look weak. They do over-sexualize the children. They do make the woman look masculine. And they do try to position the gay person as the most normal, right, or voice of reason. But a black man having a positive representation and image, and then that being juxtaposed towards a white man becoming a villain, is done on purpose. Because the way you do it is you divide lower class America. Elon can't relate to middle class America. He can't relate to lower class America, and nor does he care whatsoever. None of them niggas at the top care, right? It's the same thing in the black community. Those at the top, they don't care about shit that's going on in the streets of middle class. They don't give a damn. But when they use it, they need to divide you, because the people are never supposed to look at the top, right? The people are never supposed to look at the top as the problem. They have to look at each other as the problem. So what they're doing is they will stoke the fears in the white man, and they would say, wait a minute, not you white farmers working with the black people and they having political power and y'all using that against us. Hell no. Nah, y'all got to understand that these black dudes trying to take y'all women. And you a white man, you supposed to be over here. So what they do is they create a divide by first making you the reason for their problem. Oh, white man, now you seen as the hero, you seen as the villain, black man as a hero. So now when you go through the comments and you see the white man saying, yeah, man, it's time for us to change this shit. You feel me? Now they mad at you. Now, so when they see any positive representation of a black man, or they see you represented as a hero, and there's a really important thing about the hero archetype is actually important. And I'll get to that in a second. So when they see that, it causes an automatic division to say that, wait a minute, y'all know this shit is a part of the agenda as well. Well, how are they supposed to show us? But that's not the point. The point is he's speaking direct to the hearts of white supremacists, saying that this is all the problem, right? Now, who he's saying doing this, he's saying the small hats are doing this, the ones that's against him. But he needs to rally Trump's base because he's endorsing Trump. He's giving Trump $45 million per month. That's his endorsement. It's a well-funded campaign. So he's saying, listen, as he endorsing them, he's speaking to his base. Now, his base don't give a damn about you. His base saying, yeah, why the hell we got a black superhero? This shit, these niggas the problem. They taking our jobs. That's a white job. They see that as a white job, right? So I look and I observe a lot of different things, and you got to understand the way things work. You have to understand how powerful he is and how powerful these mechanisms are of social engineering and control psychologically. So when they take office, because Donald Trump is going to win, I'll be so surprised if he didn't. I've been told by multiple sources from the president's camp that he's going to step down, and they're preparing to lose. So now they focus on different things now. They're not preparing to win. They're preparing to lose. So while everybody pushing, go vote and all of this, they're preparing to lose. Obama telling Biden, man, your old ass can't win. That's what he told him. He told him, your old ass can't win. You might as well go ahead and give up, bro. It's over. Yeah, they focus on the Senate and the Congress now. They're not worried about the president. They know they lost. So that means that you should be focused on what you go do when there's a Donald Trump presidency. Not you going out there and thinking about your buy-in loyalty. That's a waste of time at this point. Biden ain't got nothing left in the tank. He ain't got nothing left in the tank. He ain't got nothing left. And so when people see it's a clear winner, then they gonna start going to that party even more. So what I see is radical times. Now they clicking up. They clicking up heavy. Mark Zuckerberg say, "Oh, this nigga about to be president." I ain't gonna lie. He up there endorsing him. He say, "Man, hey, the way bruh put his fist up talking about fight," he said that was the most gangster shit I ever seen in my life. He said, "I ain't seen nothing more gangster in my life than that." Now, he ain't got to say it's an endorsement, but it is an endorsement because he never even speaks like that. He is the owner. You have two owners of the largest social media platform that shapes reality, both endorsing Trump. One saying that he got the heart, that was the bravest thing I ever seen in my life. He's saying that this nigga is the most gangster nigga I ever seen ever. That's like, in our terms, that's the way he's saying it. And Elon saying, "I'm with bruh, man, 45 million, you get all the money you want." He say, "It's whatever with me." And they don't care how radical you is. And then on our end, black men, we love a millionaire in our culture. We love a billionaire in our culture. But niggas is so afraid to support each other. You won't stand out and endorse nobody. Oh, he too dangerous, he too radical. Too radical? Is y'all not seeing what I'm seeing? It's the most radical time. Y'all afraid to endorse radical behavior? Radical just mean getting to the root of something. So if you trying to get to the root of things, you pressing a little too hard. Is you crazy? Look how radical that is. The man said, "I'm going to give you 45 million. He don't even need it. I'm going to give you 45 million. I'm kissing a ring." Zuckerberg said, "I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to tell the world I think he a great man. Kissing a ring. He giving them that stamp of approval." And I'm seeing them come out the woodworks. And y'all telling me we can't endorse each other because we not safe enough? Y'all telling me brothers who put together platforms to bring tens of thousands of black men together, and then at the same time we get together and it's like, we put all these millionaires on stage, but they ain't endorsing no campaign for nothing. They easily speak on Trump. They easily speak on politics. But when it comes to each other, I can't endorse that. I had a good conversation with my brother in New Era, Detroit, who I believe have the greatest street campaign that put so much work in the streets, and why I love speaking on them, because I would love to see them well funded to where we can take a blueprint all throughout America and get these streets together. There's a lot of people doing things, but the reality of it is the people who's doing their job the most, a lot of times, the people who's doing their job the most, because this is where we get it messed up. If you have a philosopher, all you need from them is their philosophy. You don't need them to build anything. You have an architect, we just need you to architect. You have an engineer, we need you to engineer. Right? You're a designer, we need you to design. If you're an organizer, we need you to organize. But what tends to happen in our society, in our culture, is that people are not praised for what they do. They're hated for what they're not doing. So somebody is there to speak. Somebody is there to draw up the blueprint. Somebody is there to manage the project. Somebody is there to fund the project. Somebody is there to build the project. But what tends to happen is we have this expectation that one person is supposed to do it all, or their voice and platform is invalid. So there's this radical expectation that men that come first generation, come from no money, no wealthy connections or anything of that nature, has to be the one out of a billion that is born to generate and produce a whole entire nation without the network and the resources. It's weird because there's this idea, there's this pressure that black men have to be these messianic saviors of the world. Otherwise, they're not doing shit. What? Where's that pressure? That pressure does not exist in no other community. You know that, right? That does not exist anywhere else. I've never seen an African get charged with being the one that leads his entire country, right, to progress. No, if this man has a news network, that's enough. He's doing his job, and then what they do is, because they have organization to say, well, this is where you can fit. Hey, you got a media channel? Okay, well, we're going to bring all of the people onto your channel to grow it. So you fit in this world because you playing your part. I see you a master at what you do.